Good
Alrighty
evening,
then.
sir. So now we talk at the same time. And like,
Oh, no,
wait,
no,
are
no,
you
no.
gonna go? Are you
We
gonna
can.
start? Am I gonna start?
You go. You go. You go.
Uh, okay, now I don't know what I was gonna say. It matters. How you doing, man? Oh yeah, wow. We are terrible at opening a podcast. Like we,
We really need to
we
define that. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually kind of funny when it's easier for me doing the editing if we just start blabbing and then it will find the natural start to it. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah, sure. So how goes it, sir?
how goes it is hot. I
It
feel
is
like
very
Robin
hot.
Williams in Good Morning Vietnam. It's hot. It's stinking hot.
To give you an idea how hot it is, so Andrew is actually wearing what essentially looks like, a tank top, which never happens. I can see the tattoo on your upper arm. I can't
And
remember the last time
shorts.
I saw your bare arms
And shorts.
and shorts. Wow. Well, there we go. But did you
Yep.
get it? Your bare arms?
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. How are you doing?
Yes, it's very hot. I've not been enjoying today. I've been running out to do a quick couple jobs outside, getting way too hot coming back in. Doing okay. I'm getting geared down for the end of school and the summer. And there you go. Here's my nugget.
Ah,
Oh, wait, sorry. I guess I should introduce myself before my nugget.
yeah.
So I'm Kipling, and I am the tinsmith, coppersmith of our brothers in smithing duo. My business, for lack of a better term, it's not really a business, is Tapley Tinsmith. And my nugget is I am currently wearing a wrist brace because about 2 weeks ago, I hurt my wrist. I don't know what I did. I think it's a sleeping injury. I am old enough to have sleeping injuries. It's very sad.
Uh,
The
my
best
my
part is
nugget.
I was following. Yeah, I know it's a great volunteer. But I was out at Lang Pioneer Village Museum where I started off as a tinsmith. I still go out and volunteer every now and again. And I was doing some tinsmithing. School groups are coming through, and one of the kids, it's like, "What did you do to your wrist?" And I essentially just told her the same story, but there was a parent in the back. I'm like, "Yep, I'm old enough to get sleeping injuries," and she just looked at me. She's like, "Yeah, I get it. I'm in that age bracket now."
Yep. Yep. Well, my name is Andrew. I'm not quite in that age bracket yet, but I am the blacksmith of our brothers in smithing duo, and Deer Run
You are the
Forge is my
baby of the brothers and Smither,
babies of the
the
brothers
baby
in
brother.
smithing. Um, the I never know how to say it too. Like I am Deer Run Forge, or this is Deer. Like I never know how to say that. Like I we
We should figure
it's our
that out.
we should. Anyway, my nugget is I now own a jersey with my name on the back of it. I played
Ooh.
baseball until I was 16 years old, which is getting fairly old, but never really went for like the rep team or anything like that. And my son is on the house league select team, and I got sucked into being a coach. And coaches wear uniforms, and I got my name on my jersey now because I'm coaching my kids' ball. So
So just to be clear, the only reason you have the name on your uniform is because you're living vicariously through your son.
100%. But it's my jersey. He has one too.
He has one too.
It is a full it's my size jersey with my number and he has
Does
his
it say
own. So it's
Sirtwell or Andrew on it?
it says Sirtwell. It says my
Does
full name.
and does John say Sirtwell Jr.?
No. But
Sirtwell Senior and Sirtwell Jr.
no. Just different numbers, different numbers. It is pretty cute and pretty fun. But yeah, that's my nugget for the time. So,
Excellent.
do you want to introduce
Good
what we're
pregnant
doing
pause
here
there.
or
Yeah, I
I
took in a
know,
deep
I
breath.
know.
I'm about to say something, but I don't know what I'm going to say. So I guess we should talk about last month. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
what are
we
we doing?
finished a challenge. Yeah, we did. We did Alice in Gardenland. So we did a fun little challenge. Had to make a garden decoration with the theme of Alice in Wonderland, and we both sort of chose the Cheshire Cat. And you went for a beautiful little sign with the Cheshire Cat. I went for a water feature, little um, sort of. recycled, repurposed water fountain with a teapot and stuff like that. It was good. I was very happy with what I did and very proud. But after some discussion, we decided that there wasn't enough metal work in there, so it was a null challenge.
Nah, I just think okay, so here's my thing on the whole thing, is it's when like, there's times that both of us do something and I'm thinking of our Star Wars challenge when you put way more time and way more effort into your piece than I put into mine, and the votes don't sort of show that because it
Absolutely.
like they like one or the other and everything like that, and it feels like uh it gets like a side sort of thing. My issues with it are more based off of the past that we've had with issues in my wooden pieces and all the other stuff.
Well,
So
yes, we've discussed non-metal piece inclusion before.
and I think it just needs to be like either clear or stated or whatever. And my biggest thing is that the metal work that we're doing needs to be the focal point or the piece. And it just happened to be the picture that you had, the metal work didn't come out. You couldn't see it, and that's not what people were voting on, which is kind of and then that's more of a picture thing than it was another thing. So
I completely agree, and that's why I think I'm not saying that I forfeited it. I like you did not take a win off of this, but I also don't think I took a win out of it because I agree. Like I think that's something going forward. This is Brothers in Smithing, and it's our monthly metal challenge. And arguably, there was the vast majority of that piece was not metal I worked myself.
hmm, I don't know how I feel about that. No, I don't know how I feel about the when we talk about like stats and we go, okay, you have this many and I have this many and four ties and one that didn't count.
Well,
Like
we just so this is a that what I would what the way I sort of envision it is a null challenge. So it doesn't even go into the stats. It's not there. So we are still at 21-21 with four ties.
we can discuss later. We can discuss. It doesn't have to be.
So to be continued, we will bring you an update on the following podcast. It can be a
Well,
recurring theme.
or feel free to comment on our on the posts or on the podcast whether you think that it should count or whether it shouldn't count. There you go. How's that for user
There we go.
interaction?
Yeah, for our what 10 listeners,
Hey, and new listeners down under.
new listeners. Yes, new shout out. We had a couple new downloads in places we hadn't had before. One in Perth, Western Australia, which is awesome. So and the other one was in Copenhagen. We're really hitting the Nordic group, like Finland and Norway and Denmark. So
Yeah.
I think we even had Sweden as well. I think we've hit like all of them in there.
Wow.
Go
Is
West.
there any?
Yeah.
We'll have to play the game where we like put the pins in the board or something.
There you go. That can be an upcoming challenges. Make a metal board to pin where people have.
You make the board, I'll make the pins. What is it that you're drinking tonight there, sir?
I am drinking a Bob Cajun Brewing Company cottage lager. So Bob Cajun, which is the best name for a town I've come across that isn't slightly naughty sounding, and even made famous by the treasure, which is fantastic. So it's a nice little one, and it's a cottage lager because I am heading to the cottage the first time this weekend. So
Woohoo.
what are you
Um
drinking?
what about Cowhead in Newfoundland? That one's another great.
Cowhead's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't. But then, like, I went to university, the University of Guelph in Ontario, and then there was a guy there that was known as Cajun Bob, which made it even funnier that there's a little town called Bob Cajun.
Mm. Nice.
So,
Yeah.
there are all sorts of little mini connections, but come on, Bob Cajun.
Yeah. No, it's good.
And there's
It's
no
good.
song by the Tragically Hip called Cowhead.
No, not yet. I guess they're done. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
as much as
Kurt,
I would love to have new music.
you never know. Like those, you know how like after people are gone, they come like Gord wrote so much stuff that I have
Yeah.
no doubt that in 20 years from now you're going to hear a new Tragically Hip song, but
Yeah, that's quite probable.
obviously not right now.
AI. Oh, wait, yeah.
No, he wrote so much stuff though that like I
No, he did,
know
though.
there's recordings and stuff. Anyway, I am drinking a Hamilton beer from Collective Arts. It's actually a sour. It's a dry hopped sour called Jam Up the Mash. Um,
Ooh.
yep.
Not nearly as exciting as Bob Cajun. Hamilton, Bob Cajun.
There's a whole musical, a very
That is
popular
true.
musical.
That is true.
Lots of songs about Hamilton. Lots of famous people from Hamilton.
Yeah, but it's
Probably,
not a fun name.
probably
Someone,
about as close to me as you are to Bob Cajun. Maybe closer.
oh, you're definitely closer to you than I am to Bob Cajun. But
But local beers, nonetheless.
local beers, absolutely. Like even actually, Bob Cajun is no longer brewed in Bob Cajun. It's brewed in Peterborough.
But
I know. All right, I think we have digressed plenty there.
you think?
This month's challenge. What are we doing?
This month's challenge, we are looking ahead towards week in July, which is Shark Week. And to give sharks a little love, we have in the past done other themed framed art. We kind of did a window hanging with some canoes. So this was kind of along the same lines. We're going to do we're doing a framed shark themed piece. So
Wait, Shark Week's in July? I thought
yeah.
Shark Week was in June.
No, so we get to make reels and post this whole thing in Shark Week. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure,
So
I
we would
missed
be
that
done
one.
for Shark Week.
Well, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
yeah. It's like the second week of July or something. So
I thought it was in June. Apparently, there was some not following the conversation at some point. Wow,
so
shocking there.
so anyway,
All right,
I kind of went off
you've
of
got a better story right now, so you start. What are you doing?
so I kind of went off of that whole window hanging thing, and I guess I was gonna make a window hanging again, and then I wanted it to be sort of you could see it at all times, so I wanted to put a light box behind it. So that's what I ended up making is a light box, and then I made some wire frame pieces of C and everything, trying to get the right side towards you here. So I kind of went off of this steel wire that's I guess it is actually galvanized after testing a couple things. But yeah, and kind of like scripty and bent wire around and welded it up onto this metal frame that'll be put on a light box so you can see it all the time.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching your posts because as everybody the three people who listen to us realize we don't live really close. You said there's going to be like a little surprise reveal about the light. Do we get to hear about it on this podcast?
Yeah, it's an LED light box, and it's not just a simple color LED, but it is still just a light. So
Okay, so no, we don't get to hear about what it is what you're saying.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. This is just so everybody who is listening is aware. This is not for your suspense. It's because he doesn't want to reveal it to me.
Totally. although it would be at this point I think it's a little late for you to change yours. So if you really want to know, it's one of those lights that it turns around and then it shows like the wavy ocean, like that's like so it looks like how you get the like light.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be behind it.
Ooh, so it's going to give it some motion. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So I like it. I know. And you know what? Honestly, I'm not sure how mine's going to turn out yet because, hey, notice I just said yet.
Well, mine's not fully together. The light box is over there and this is here, but yeah, it's just got to get screwed together. It is all finished. So
I applaud you. Mine is not. So, we're recording this a few days before it's getting posted. So, I've got 3 days to finish it off. And I now think that I am actually going to be able to do it. 10 minutes before we were recording, I thought I was going to have to forfeit.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So,
Oh.
here's the story. My again, I so the whole reason we came up with the idea of doing it in a frame is because I was at a place that I nicknamed the Millbrook Mall, which is our garbage transfer station, and they have a big open area. We've talked about it on the podcast before, that you can free cycle stuff. People drop stuff off, and then someone else can take it for free. And there was this picture frame with no picture in it, just the frame. And I picked it up, and then we were talking about, oh, hey, this would be a good thing to make the theme for the shark. So I have that. It's a wooden, nice little frame. And then I got some of my copper wire, and I made sort of like an undulating pattern to make it have that watery look to it. And I made some really cool seaweed, which is currently in the garage, and it's getting a patina put on it, which is kind of fun. And then in my brain, I'm like, about halfway through the month, I'm like, okay, I still got to come up with an idea for the shark. Well, what else is June known for? Pride Month. Here, and look, I'm wearing my pink shirt today. This was just kind of random. It happened to be on, but so yeah, Pride Month. So I'm like, okay, well, why don't I make it a pride shark? And I've got colored anodized aluminum wire, and so my idea was, so I'm gonna cut out a shark, and then I was gonna take the wire and end up putting a rainbow on the bottom of it, each different color wire, and then the wire's gonna curl up and wrap around, and the top of the shark is going to be divided into 6 blocks of color for the rainbow. To do that, I need all of the colors of the rainbow, and I didn't have them. And so this is still mid-June. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go on where I order my wire from and put in the order and said, okay, it'll be here in 4 to 7 business days. Right. Plenty of time. And a week went by, and a week and a half went by, and I got in the shipping thing. So I'm like, okay. And then it said estimated day of arrival June 27th. Okay, this is a problem now because I've got everything else built. The one color that I do have, that I did have, or I had the purple, but I didn't have the right size of blue wire, which is the next level up, right? So and I have to do them in order for it to all be spaced out properly. What do I do? So I know that it's being shipped through DHL. DHL, they have a sorting center based in Peterborough, but it's at the same spot as the UPS. So I went over there. I'm like, hey, it says it has made it to Ontario. Would it happen to be here? Just maybe, can I pick it up? And the guy's like, sorry, one, I can't even check, and two, I don't know if you've heard, but DHL is on strike. Yeah, a good chunk of the DHL workers are on strike, which is the reason I'm assuming that it did not show up in its 4 to 7 business days. All this being said, just before this podcast, I'm like, okay, well, I'll double check the tracking, and so we can talk about it on the podcast, because I'm going to forfeit because it's not going to be done at the end of June. And it said, I'm like, product delivered. I'm like, what? Really? And then I looked at the time, and it had like literally just been delivered. And so I went outside, and it was sitting in the garage. So I have the wire. It literally showed up tonight. And so I've got to, affix it, but everything else is done. So it's a bit time consuming to get the wire in place. There you go. That was a very long monologue on my side, which we try to avoid. Sorry.
But the purple did work out for you.
The purple setup, not too bad. Like it's, I first time I've tried it, but I'm liking it. Like it's, so essentially the purple is the bottom of the, goes right down the bottom of the shark, and then it does and wraps the tail, and then it sort of spirals into the center of the tail, and it ends just outside the tail, and then the blue will go across just above it, and then do the next body chunk, and so on and so forth. It's kind of hard to describe. I have a picture
Hmm.
of it in my head, but yeah,
How are you adhering the wire to the? It's an
it's being
aluminum
glued on.
shark. It's glued on.
It's being glued on. Again, it's like it's because it's a wall hanging. It's not something that's going to be taking a lot of abuse, so I'm okay with it. It's finicky. Not gonna lie. I just took some raw wire and attempted it on something else first to make sure. Okay, I can get there. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how it'll turn out at the end there. But so far, I'm happy with it.
And no backup plan, eh? You weren't like trying to like pivot and backup plan. You're going full in.
Well, because I started really going down this. I'm like, okay, I got 4 to 7 days for before this wire shows up. So let's get everything else set. So we're ready to go. And then I hit a snag.
Hmm.
And life's also been busy. It's the end of the school year. Like we were
Yeah.
off. My wife still gets together with her mummy group from when my eldest was born. And we do a camping trip with the 10 moms. So that was this past weekend. And we were somewhere else the weekend before that. It's just, life is busy right now.
Yep. And all the recitals and plays and grads and gatherings
All those
and
things.
hooplas at the end of the year. Yep.
But I am now, like, I was a bit giddy when it showed up. Like, I got my wire. And the other thing it's going to allow me to do, and because I wanted to do this earlier, is the wire trees that I make. I wanted to be able to make rainbow trees. You said you wanted one, and I've made close ones, but I didn't have orange wire. That was one of the key ones that I didn't have. I think that was only the only color that I really was missing. And my blue wire that I have my thinnest gauge and I have my thickest gauge. I didn't have the middle gauge, which is what I'm tending to do a lot of stuff with now. So,
Cool.
but,
Cool.
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. There's
And
more metal work in this one than the last one,
it'll be done for when we're going to post it.
and it's going to be done and photographed for when we're going to post it. I'm going to put up another. Again, this will all be up by the time the podcast comes up, but I'll have another reel posted up on Instagram shortly now that I've got some wire.
Cool.
My giddy face.
So we're planning to post this on the 27th, actually.
Yep. Friday the 27th of June, so just before the long weekend, the Canada Day long weekend, because of course we're in Canada.
And you guys, what we do is we post it on our stories on Instagram, and then you can live vote on that. It does get posted to our posts as well, and you can comment on those. So we would prefer people going to the Brothers and Smithing Instagram, and following us there and following the share. You get the stories, so you'll see Kipling get his wire and his giddy face and all the sort of antics between us as we build these things. But we do also have our individual posts at Deer Run Forge and Tapley Tinsmith. But if you want to vote for us and find out what we're doing, you can go to Brothers and Smithing on Instagram and vote for them live on the 27th, and vote for the whatever one you want. This is totally just for fun. We don't do this because we get money or we get whatever. This is just
we get
inspiring.
money? How did we get money?
Well, we sell these eventually, and then somebody gives us money.
Sometimes.
But yeah, no, it's just to keep us, because honestly, like, we're so busy at this time of year, like this month. If I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't have done anything this month. I would not have smithed. I wouldn't have got out the welder. I wouldn't have got anything. And I even got out the welder today. I had one piece that broke off while I was cleaning it. One piece broke off, and I was like, is it worth it? It's like 47 degrees outside Celsius, by the way. And I went outside and I was like, I don't want to put on a welding shirt, but I know if I just go, it's just going to rip my arm up. And so I got everything ready, put the shirt on, welded it quickly, ripped the shirt off. Yeah. Oh, it was warm.
Taking one from the team.
Yep.
Well, see, had you welded it well the first time, you wouldn't have had to do that.
Yeah. So yeah. And actually I've taken to normally cleaning up my welds and everything, like actually with a grinder, and like clean them all while I still have the welder out, because I've learned this lesson before. But of course, this one, all the wire has to be along the same plane as the frame, otherwise it'll touch the light box or stick out too much. And one of the things was just a little bit too wonky, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just straightened it a little bit too much, and
And it, ding.
yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
does
knows that
happen.
feeling. So
Yeah. Well, here you want to hear my idiocy on this build? Besides, because I don't think it's idiocy of the I didn't realize we had a DHL strike going on. So I'm patining the seaweed to give it kind of a blue look. I'm forcing a patina using ammonia and vinegar. And so I'm like, okay, it takes a day, but if you really want a good one, you want to leave it a couple days. Well, I'm going camping. So if I set it all up, put it in the garage, throw it in a bag, the ammonia can be there, no one's around, it's not going to bother anybody. It's going to be great. And then I'll have a great patina in a couple days. Come back, I'm like, it's all in a box. I have to open the box. I'm like, I'm excited. It's going to see what it looks like. Nothing. Nothing on it. It's still bright copper. I'm like, because it's doing a dragonfly as well at the same time. I was doing a couple things in the box. What? I forgot to put vinegar on it.
I was gonna
If
say
you
you
just
forgot the
put
vinegar, yeah.
copper in a box with ammonia, nothing happened.
That's
I was
awesome.
very disappointed. So
Very confused originally too. Yeah.
it took me a minute. I'm like, why didn't I think? Oh, schmuck. So then I went and got some vinegar, painted on. It's back in the bag, and it's some beautiful color. Within like half an hour, you could start to see the color creeping into it and whatnot. So, you know,
And you may have checked on it more than once now.
I may have checked on it a few times today,
Awesome.
but so yeah, so it should have a nice patina, and then we can add it all on, and we'll see how that works. Although I don't have a funky light going off the back to make fake movement. So
The really funny thing is the light box, because you can change the color of this moving light. Um, at one point, if you turn it to like an orange color and then you set the light box down so it's just like looking down on it, I'm like, you could come up with a pretty convincing coal fire with this if you just built like a mound and
yeah,
on this white plexi. I was like, if I ever needed a fake coal fire, this would be how I would do it.
there we go.
You
There
know,
we go. So yes,
as you
I'm assuming
turn.
you had to buy the LED light for this.
I did, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to? Is this going to become a market item, or does this have a destination? Like my uh, Allison Garden Land thing is a cottage thing now. It was designed to go up to the cottage. It was never going to become to the market. Is this one going to be market bound?
This one will either be market bound, or I don't know if she wants me to say anything about it, but likelihood she's not going to listen. My sister owns a paint store in Sarnia, Cameron's Paint. It's a Benjamin Moore store. And she was thinking about trying to get, because they have decor pieces and stuff in there, but she's like, they're all mass produced decor pieces. She's like, wouldn't it be cool if we got local artists to come in and like display their stuff? And it's like a limited time, and it's a reason to come back to the store and could inspire, something with that or whatever. Um, but she's not sure how to come up with the agreements and stuff with artists. So being that I've done this type of thing with craft fairs, and I was asking you about commission pieces and uh, uh, selling in stores and stuff like that. She was like, yeah, I might want to try it, soft try it out before I ask for artists in Sarnia. She's like, would you want to give me a couple pieces to try out? And I was like, in fact, I have a shark.
Okay, then. So this is now an apropos question. If you are going to put it up there on commission,
Ooh.
what ballpark are you looking at?
Well, this is kind of like so you remember I made a Northern Lights piece where I
Yes.
took a sheet metal and cut out wave shapes out of it, and then put an LED behind it that changes color, and I called it my Northern Lights piece. And it doesn't showcase really well at craft fairs, so well, that was another piece that she was actually thinking about. And I have that one again. It's a lot of inside sanding and stuff on that piece to get it cut out. So that piece is about 75, and I'm thinking that this one's around the same. So that's what I need out of it, and depending on what commission and stuff she's going from there. So somewhere 7500, depending on
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's frequently about 20% for
yeah,
whoever's doing, like, owning the building it's being sold out of, I guess.
yeah. So I could see somewhere like, something like 85 or something like that would be, you know be what it would be marketed as. So
All right, very cool. Very cool.
yourself,
Well,
does it have a home? Does yours have a home? Is it going somewhere?
no, not right now. No, it would probably, if it looks okay. Again, this is the problem. I haven't finished.
Hmm.
It hasn't been finished, so I can't really say I really like that. Like, because there's definitely a level of finish it needs to have before I bring it to a market.
Yeah.
And I think if the shark turns out the way I'm envisioning it, it will come because it should pop fairly well.
Yep.
And then no, then I'm gonna have to spend some time going,
Now, what do you sell
what
it for?
what is that worth? So I
Well,
don't know.
the right person that loves sharks and uh,
Well,
showcase
that's the
some
thing. Like
pride.
it's a pride shark. Like sharks are powerful. Go for pride. I think it's a good combination. So we'll just see how it turns out.
Yep.
Ooh, 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 ooh. You like my lead in? What did the shark say when it got charged with a crime?
No. What?
Not guilty.
Mm.
Oh, come
Mm.
on. Oh,
Mm.
what, you got better?
No, I don't. I didn't look up a shark joke. I did not.
Mm.
Should
So,
have. Yeah.
humming and hawing. I thought that was,
There's a couple of fish jokes, but no, I don't know any shark
what
jokes.
does a shark and my computer have in common? They both have a megabyte.
All right, all right. I got one. So these two sharks end up in a tank together, right? Hanging out in this tank together. And one looks at the other one and he goes, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
But
Uh,
all right. So we're pretty subpar on the dad jokes tonight.
yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I'll just edit those out. Don't worry.
All right.
um, did you want to do an eggle today?
Sure, we can do our eggels. Our eggels tonight are the nothing at all related to metalsmithing or sharks or frames for that matter. Maybe, I don't know. What is the best costume you've ever had? Like that you've worn?
Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
have to be for Halloween, although I'm assuming it probably would be for Halloween, but it might not. I know you wear costumes for all sorts of things.
I wear many costumes
Do you?
living, and you do too, living history museums and sites. We've dressed up many times,
Yeah.
many different ways for logging and Victorian and all the things. But I think I love my sailor costume, love my pirate costume, but I think the one I really want to talk about is when I was 11 years old, I had a paper route and I delivered 70 papers around the neighborhood. And for some reason, I know what it was. I found on sale around Halloween gorilla hands and a gorilla mask. Okay. And my mom made me a faux uh, fur shirt and pants to go with this gorilla. So it was like a full gorilla costume. Okay. It didn't have a chest or anything like that, but
Yeah, but yeah.
it was a full gorilla costume, right? And the day before Halloween, I would go out and deliver my papers in the gorilla costume, and then of course I went out on Halloween. But to carry my candy, I thought my paper bag is just on my shoulder. It worked really. It holds lots of. So everybody on my paper route recognized me and would give me extra candy. So like
Oh,
this, it was really it was good. It was good. And then I did that for like 3 years to the point where the gorilla costume didn't fit very much anymore. But we had a garage sale, and I got dressed in the gorilla costume. Was flagging cars down. My neighbors had a garage sale like the next weekend, and I was flagging them down. I was a gorilla. So yeah, I have good memories of my gorilla costume. Uh,
Well used. Very
yeah.
nice. You should have. We'll have to find a photo of that
Ooh,
because
that'll
you
that'll
won't
take
mess
some
photos up.
that'll take some digging. Yeah, but they do exist.
Yeah. Well, mine was a bit older than yours. I was in university, and we were deciding to go out to a bar. Yeah, as you do at university. And my costume, I don't know, were you a aficionado of Mad Magazine?
Mhm.
So I went as the Black Spy from Spy versus Spy. So I had the full cone face, whole, the like hat. I spent I had a cone, like a paper cone, which was fair to cover my whole face. So I had to make glasses, black glasses that would be the right size, which was a lot of trying to figure out, like wire work to get the frame, but how do you make them black? And I ended up using black balloons, and it was a big process, but they turned out really well. And actually, at the bar, they had a costume contest, and I came in third.
Ooh.
I actually was one of the ones they were having fun at the bar, and one of the bouncers came and tapped on the shoulder and come up to the up on stage. I lost to a guy who was dressed as a massive afro, but that's fair. But yeah, so no flagging down anybody as a gorilla, but yeah, Black Spy.
The honorable mention to the one time I went out with you on Halloween to the bars as well, and one of your friends went out as a Tetris piece, an upside down L, and
Oh, that was
he spent the
beautiful.
night finding places that he could fit, like on the bar, he'd
Or
on the pool table. There was a
yeah.
mailbox. I
My
remember
favorite
he
was
like,
on the newspaper dispenser that he's
yeah, yeah.
on the stars. That
And
was
then at
fantastic.
the best part about it was at the end of the night when we'd had all our fun and we were going home, there were still people at the bar waiting to go in, and he just passed off this cardboard Tetris block to the next person, and they went in the bar and had fun too. So it
Yeah,
was, yeah, it
it was
was great.
awesome. That was that was Pete. That was fantastic. So yeah, kudos to him.
That was a good one. Awesome. Um, well, I got a new tool. Not that it's like anything super super exciting, but um, I'm doing. I'm actually thinking that currently it's I was gonna forge today. I was actually had time to forge today, but it was so stinking hot that there weren't no way I was gonna even just standing outside for like an hour doing physical activity was not going to be a good idea. So I'm thinking now that like the summer, especially with kids and stuff around, I don't get a lot of chance to like heat up the forge and do that type of stuff, and weather is troublesome as well. So I'm thinking of working more in like sheet metal and like doing my flowers, doing the sheet metal
Getting
flowers
into
and stuff.
my purview.
A little bit, yeah, but still staying with steel,
Yeah,
that type of thing, using my little fly press and everything. So breaking down sheet metal is an issue. And so the big pieces that I'm getting are like off the end of the rolls, and they're rusty and everything like that. They're super cheap, but it's like 4 feet by 5 feet, you know, steel.
yep,
And I'm just like, ah. So the first ones, I took an angle grinder and cut them into 2 foot squares, and was like, that's at
yep,
least reasonable. But then even taking like with hand shears and trying to cut off a square off the ends and stuff, it's just a pain. It's just asking to cut your hand and everything like that too. So I was like, well, what's the answer? Because and you have your little nibbler thing you put on your drill, and I haven't seen anything that you have that works like super mint.
yep.
um
No, I agree with that.
so I got me one of these. um it's just a shear. It's just a metal shear. It's like a
Yeah,
handheld drill shear, but it has a tooth on either side. It's just from, again, favorite store, Princess Auto. They now have one in Burlington, by the way. Shout out
yeah.
to Princess Auto in Burlington.
Don't have to drive to Hamilton anymore.
bigger than Hamilton's. Yeah, no,
Mm.
what better layout than Hamilton's. Hopefully it stays that way. But anyway, um, it has teeth on either side, and then it's the center one that moves, and
Yep.
it cuts on either side. So all it does is take basically it's just under a 1/4 inch little strip and curls it up. And I thought you would have to push on it, and there'd still be some like hand. It's gonna cut your man. I know it's new, and I know they're sharp, but like, and I was just like, oh, that would have taken me 10 minutes, 5 minutes with the, and my hand would be cramped. And I took a 2x2 sheet and cut it into 4-inch squares, giggling like, that was my Father's Day gift. So, yeah, looking forward to breaking down some sheet metal and making some different flowers and stuff too. So,
Very cool. It's always fun to have a new toy.
yeah.
So my wonder is not a new toy, it's a new source.
Ooh.
So my moniker, this is my new term for it. So I'm Kipling Campbell, and my moniker is Tapley Tinsmith. You like
Oh,
that?
Monica.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So my moniker is Tapley Tinsmith, but I actually don't do a lot of tinsmithing at home anymore. And the main reason is because tin plate, which is what a tinsmith works in, is really hard to find. We don't make it in Canada. Surprise, surprise. As far as I know, we don't have any tin mines in Canada, and you got to ship it in from the States. And up until recently, I had really two choices. There's a company called RI down in the States that will make it, but you have to get a pallet of 100 sheets that are essentially 2 foot 5, 4 foot. And in order to get that shipped up, you have to have a forklift to take it off the truck, or you have to get to ship it up on a truck that has a forklift. And now we're getting astronomical prices that I am never going to afford. The other option is to get traditionally made hot dipped tin plate, which comes in the traditional size of 10 inches, 10 and a quarter inches by 14 inches. And you can get shipped that, but it's expensive. So I do get that occasionally, but I don't have a lot of tin plate. I was playing around on Facebook, and there's a tin smithing Facebook group that I found, and I joined that. And some other person posted, I'm just getting into the trade, and where do you get this stuff? And they suggested, the two places that I know, and then they also said, well, there's a new place called the it's Metal Sealing Express. They do the pressed tin ceilings, but they have a link that you can click, and it's just raw tin plate for tinsmiths, and it's down in the States. I'm like, okay. And then I'm a bit slow. It took me a couple of weeks to go, wait a minute, maybe there's a tin sealing place in Ontario where I
Mm.
live. And I Googled it, and there's one that's just outside, it's actually in Kitchener. It's in Mannheim, which has been absorbed into Kitchener. And so I called them and said, hey, do you sell raw tin plate? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, this is who I am. I'm not looking for a lot because I'm just doing that. And they were very willing to sell some to me. So I went down like last week, and I got 5 2 foot by 4 foot sheets, which allowed me to do a bunch of stuff. And the price was really reasonable, and I don't have to pay for shipping because I drove down and picked it up myself. So I guess I'm paying the shipping through my own gas. Uh, but yeah, it was
That's
fantastic.
exciting. Yeah.
It was. And
Great.
then the best part was, so I got there, and the woman was like, "Well, my father started this business, and he was a tinsmith, and then he started to do the tin press tin ceilings, and he's 80." And he's like, oh, he's been looking for someone to talk to about tinsmithing stuff for a while. So he came out, and we went through his garage, and he has an amazing assortment of stakes and old tinsmithing tools and all. Oh, I was just like, I kid in Candyland, man. It was amazing.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, so that's my wonder. It was a fantastic little place in Kitchener. BG tin ceilings. If you are looking for a pressed tin ceiling, that's where
Awesome.
you should go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That's
exciting.
that's awesome. That's very exciting for you because I know that's not easy to get. So,
Hmm. It's not so I appreciated it very, very much.
and hopefully you can do more tin stuff now. So,
Yeah, no, I'd like to get into some other stuff again. So because I've been mostly doing copper work, which I enjoy, but it's nice to go back and do tinware as well. So
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have anything to recommend this month? Anything you've seen cool?
I do. It has nothing to do with metalsmithing. It's not inspiring as to like getting me to work. It's called Newty Patooties on Instagram. I know it sounds terrible. But it's this person who has created these elaborate squirrel feeders, which are hard for the squirrel to get to. Like there's like spinning discs, and like there's actually a bucket of water that when the squirrel messes up, sometimes it falls in the water, and it's hilarious to watch these squirrels try to get the corn. It's fantastic, and it's so Newty Patooties, NEWTYPATOOTYS. It's hilarious. It just brightens my day watching these squirrels do crazy things.
Nice. Nice. I saw one, but I can't find him right now. But the one that I keep coming back to is Justin Davies. He is the one who's done a U.S. state map using all the state trees as the wood
Ooh.
for the map. He's has also done Canada and the provinces and the provincial trees. But the thing that I really like about him is he constantly is trying to find new ways to consume things from trees. So obviously there's like the very usable things like pawpaw fruit and everything like that. But do you remember the spruce cone syrup that I made?
Yes,
That
yes.
was from him. So things like that where you're like, I wouldn't have thought of using that for ice cream or other things. So very cool and really good interpretation in trees as well as art form in using those trees. So Justin Davies.
Justin Davies. All right, I'll have to take a peek because that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up next month, after we do this one, what's oh, we're doing a thermometer holder.
Yeah.
And it'll just be one for the summer as we normally do. We just get too busy with the kids at home and everything. But we're going to buy a cheap thermometer from a dollar store, and then we take out the little colored stick, and you have to make a new background for it. So I think that should be fun.
Any other any size requirements or theme requirements or anything?
No, I think most of the ones you can buy are pretty standard, and it's going to have to be based around that size. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts of what you would like for parameters? No,
No. Inside, outside? Does it matter?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't
Cool.
think
Cool.
I'm thinking a bit more outside, like tack it on the outside of the cottage sort of idea. So
I was thinking
cottage
more
piece.
freestanding
Well,
because I can go structural. I was thinking having something that could stand on a shelf or on a windowsill or whatever. Yeah.
there we go. I don't think we have. I don't think it has to be one or the other. So I think
Okay.
that's great. So it just has to read accurate temperature. So we are going to have to put some sort of gradation back into it at the appropriate spots.
You know what I'm picturing right now? I'm picturing both of us buying a thermometer from the dollar store and trying to pry it off of the backing and snapping like 3 of them.
100%.
Or you get everything done. This is what's actually going to happen. We're going to get everything done. We're going to buy one. We're going to pull one out. It's going to be perfect. We're going to get all the backing. We're going to go to glue it or something like that. And something's not going to be right. We're going to have to adjust it a little bit and snap it then, and then not be able to find the thing again. And we're going to have a gradated backing for a thermometer that doesn't exist.
Does not exist. Yeah. Yes, I could see that being, now that you mentioned that, because I was going like, well, just keep looking at the Macgar Mall or the Millbrook Mall. Sorry, there's another one up at my cottage in the township of Macgar, so we've got 2 malls to go to.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, yeah, we'll just go there. But maybe I should look at where I can buy 3 or 4 that are the same, just in case I pick a couple.
I'm kind of thinking if we're going like dollar store, I might just have 3 of them just to,
Just in case.
yeah, yeah. Well, Good luck. We'll post this one on the 27th. If you're listening to this after the 27th, you can always go to the Brothers and Smithing Instagram and see the posts and comment on them. We love to hear what you think about them, one way or the other, and which way you would have voted, and then you can follow for next month. We do this every month. We've been doing it for over 4 years now, and just for our plain enjoyment and maybe yours too. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, and I know we're in discussions, but right now we're saying we're tied. So, vote for me so I can leap ahead. You know,
Hmm.
very
I don't
important.
know. It's been a while since I've got a win though, so
It has been a while since you've gotten a win. I will give you that, but I'm okay with taking the lead. I'm rarely in the lead,
I know.
rarely.
I
So
know.
it's good for our villain to have a winning streak for a bit. Makes our hero work harder.
Yeah, it's funny this whole thing. Like as I said before, I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for this, and it does. You say like you want a piece that's quality to take to the market, but neither of us want to post garbage on
No,
this, and so it's one of those things that like you push yourself to do the best you can anyway. So it's
yep.
why it generally ends up at markets. So it's great that way, and having people vote for us and support it in just even giving us a vote one way or the other. We're not offended if you vote for the other guy if you like it better. It just pushes us harder to do slightly better the next time, and we're pretty even at it at this point. So vote for whoever you want to, but make sure that you vote for your favorite, which is going to be mine on this one.
So go to Brothers and Smithing on Instagram, or you can also go to Deer Run Forge or Tapley Smith. You can go on all three and vote for mine 3 times, which works as well.
uh Yeah, it's a little dirty, underhanded, sneaky trick that the villain only uses. But yeah, you could go on his and vote for his on his, and then vote for me on the other ones because we all know that you're going to like mine better.
Sounds fantastic. Well, it was good chatting with you, sir.
Yep.
And good night and good luck.
Good luck to you. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
See ya.